They claim they're taking our rights and carbon footprints and global taxes and regulation and control, is to save Gaia. But in reality, they want to overthrow what they believe is the old creation. And people can say, well, that's your Christian view. No. You can say you don't believe in God of the Bible. The point is the elite do. They hate it, and they say they're overthrowing it. So if you really love the earth and you really love this creation, you need to understand that they are seeking to overthrow it and destroy it. So they know we love the planet. They know we have common sense and want to breathe clean air and drink good water. They say, oh, sign on to what we're doing to save the earth, when in reality they want to overthrow it and destroy it to rebuild it in their hellish image.
Alex, that is exactly right. They want to create a new reality, a new way of thinking, and a new earth built on these regenerative principles.
Play God.
Remember, they are not creators. So their God is not the great creator. He's the great architect. He is building a new world order. And this is the reason for all of this satanic architecture and the great work of the Illuminati, and they actually use that term, the great work. And it harkens back again to the mystery religion, so it is a theocracy. And sometimes it's disguised. For example, let me give you an example. You'll find various monuments around the United States and Canada of state buildings, including the Manitoba, in Winnipeg, Canada, and I saw this, but also AT&T building, the Rockefeller Center, and others have a very beautiful statue of a golden boy. Who is that golden boy, you might ask? Isn't that interesting? The AT&T building in New York City was built exactly 666 feet high. Okay, I document that in my book. And they have a great statue of a golden boy holding up lightning bolts. At the Rockefeller Center, they have a fountain with the golden boy inside a circle, like the circle of the earth, or a ring. Now, who is this golden boy? He's none other than the Greek god Apollo. He was called Horus by the Egyptians. Here we have Antichrist, the son of Osiris. This is amazing. The golden boy, and that's what he was called, the golden boy.
Now, Tex, since you brought up 666, remember it was in the Associated Press. I have the article. 666 of these pink and gold pieces that fit exactly in at the Louvre to build the pyramid, and Mitterrand demanded, and it had to be, he told the architect, the 666 pieces. And then I've had the head professor on who wrote this big book, and he's not even religious, about how up in Canada their government building has a room where they do rituals. He admitted that it's designed for that. That's exactly 666, or the calculation for the sun god. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Rome had built a great Capitol building, the ancient Empire of Rome. They got the religious idea of this from the Etruscans. The Etruscans always had their Capitolum, building, their capital of their various regions, and they were built exactly like our U.S. Capitol. Now, at one time, each year, on their holy day, where they really worship the devils, they would go into the crypt of their Capitol building. Okay, this is in Rome, this is in Etrusca. And they had a cover at the bottom of the crypt, right in the very center of it. There would be usually a metal, maybe golden, maybe brass or bronze or copper, and they would lift that up. And there they had built a huge cave or tunnel to the bottom of the earth where they believed the spirits would come out. They would open up the cover and allow the spirits to come forth to bless their capital city. Now, I realizing this, I began to study the architecture of the U.S. Capitol. I found that in the crypt beneath the rotunda, where they actually had a place there. He was never laid, but they even had a crypt, a sarcophagus for George Washington built. But they have what they call the rose compass. It's a cover, and it leads down into the middle of the earth, supposedly. Now, so there in Washington, D.C., at the Capitol, down in the crypt, I am convinced these Illuminists actually have an occult ritual once each year when they lift the rose compass plate out of the center of the Capitol. And you mentioned the ley lines. They believe the Capitol is built on this power.
Well, let me stop
line.
you. Let me stop you. They admittedly, with the wine and the corn and the oil, in an ancient Babylonian Masonic ritual, lay the cornerstones and have guys in priest outfits do it.
Oh yes, I have a picture, in fact, of the book where they were laying the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol. Now, in London, many of the people there are convinced, and I am as well, that many of the buildings there, the Masons actually had cornerstone laying ceremonies. And by the way, post offices, government buildings, courthouses throughout the United States, you'll find Masonic plaques, and they say, we laid the cornerstone for this building on certain date. But in the ancient mystery religions, they sacrificed human beings, and along with corn and oil and wine, they consecrated this great stone with human blood. And then they laid the stone. Now, here's an interesting thing for you, Alex. I want you to picture this. On the 200th anniversary, that was what, in 1992 or something, the Freemasons of Washington, D.C. in the United States, from all 50 states actually, held a great ceremony, a recreation. I have a film of it. A recreation of the original laying of the cornerstone, the second bicentennial. But guess what? They claimed that the architect of the Capitol, there's a full-time person, the architect of the Capitol, he could not find where the original cornerstone was laid. They were going to unearth it and re-anoint it again with their corn and oil in their occult ceremony. He claimed he could not find it. I wonder if they actually have human bones. They killed individuals and laid them under that great cornerstone. Because this is what the ancient mystery religions did, and this is nothing more than a theocracy of mystery religions. This architectural colossus is the evidence of it.
That's right. Imagine if Christians tried to come out and do a ritual at the laying of new government buildings. The ACLU would howl, but you have the Masons come in and do that. They are more than happy. Again.
Absolutely. The Denver International Airport, there is a plaque saying the New World Commission built this airport. Well, of course, it was the U.S. taxpayers. But that was also done by the Freemasons of Colorado.
Well, and then we have the who built the Rosicrucians building the Georgia Guidestones, saying they're going to kill 90% of us. I mean, they mean business. They run things. They're coming, and they think you deserve to die for their god Lucifer. We're going to continue.
May I have everybody's attention, please?
Let's go ahead and go to Texe. Texe, I don't want to exhaust you here. You want to take a break for a few minutes, or you want to keep talking right now?
Hey, I can keep talking if you'd like to, Alex. You got me fired up now.
Well, we're going to come back and start, absolutely, we're going to come back and start taking calls, but can you speak more about the Rothschilds and their homes and their own paintings, and then some about the Georgia Guidestones? I mean, you cover it all in your book. I've shown people here on camera a few pages and, pointed at it, but, I mean, you've got to get the book, folks, at Infowars.com or at TexeMarrs.com to really understand just how serious this is. I mean, this is their gang member signs everywhere. I just threw out those other issues. How about in-game? What's it going to look like if they're able to win? What will they do? What would the world look like if they succeed? And with God's help, we don't stop them.
Well, first of all, it's an interesting thing. In this bit about human sacrifice, this is an unknown philosophy to the lower-ranking members of the Masonic lodges and these various occult orders. They believe that the first people to be sacrificed